Let me ask you something. Are you someone who's perfectly fine with billionaires, perfectly fine with money and getting rich, perfectly fine with wanting more, a bigger house, more money, more freedom, more leverage over your time, but at the same time, you still have a heart? You still want to live in a society that doesn't chew up its weakest people and spit them out? Because that's me. And if that's you too, then I know your pain because you don't really fit in anywhere anymore. And neither do I. Because you're not radical enough for the left. You're not ruthless enough for the right. And every time you try to say something intelligent, something measured, something rational, you just get drowned out by the loudest and most extreme voices in the room on both sides. Are you tired of it? Because I am. I'm tired of being told that to care about people, I have to hate wealth. And I'm tired of being told that to achieve wealth, I have to turn off my conscience. They're trying to tell you that if you want to be successful, you need to be cold, cruel. You need to be fake, heartless, loud, performative, and macho. That you have to have posture. That being a man now somehow means that you're constantly proving it to strangers on the internet who you don't even know and don't even matter. And if you're like me and you see this, you must be feeling this doesn't seem right. Doesn't feel right. Because you can see the big picture. You can see that the systems we live inside matter more than the slogans people shout. You know that incentives shape behavior, whether we like it or not. And you can see that pretending incentives don't exist is just as dangerous as pretending that morality doesn't exist. And you feel helpless sometimes. Like you don't have a voice. Like there's no place where people like you are allowed to speak plainly without being attacked. So let me be very clear about something. If you're looking for a YouTube channel that tells you what side to be on, I'm not the guy. If you're looking for performative outrage or if you're looking for fake compassion or fake toughness, I'm not the guy. Because what I'm doing this channel for, what I'm doing this podcast for, is because I have an idea. And I think it's a pretty universal idea that a lot of people really feel like you and me. And that idea is woke capitalism. Now, I know the word woke has got negative connotations to it to certain people, but what I mean by woke capitalism is getting away from the crony capitalism, getting away from the crazy capitalism and the crazy culture, this crazy, heartless, adrenaline pumping, crushing beer cans against your forehead capitalism. The 1980s Wall Street doing coke off a hooker's tit capitalism. And I don't mean the kind now. I don't mean woke in like the companies now that want to slap a rainbow flag on their logo and talk loudly about all these values that they don't actually live by because they want to be able to, market their products towards a certain demographic. I'm talking about something much more quieter and deeper, more serious, more adult, mature, grown up. Woke capitalism to me is understanding that incentives are real. And instead of denying that they exist, you actually learn how to work with them without abandoning your ethics, your principles, your moral spine. I believe you can grow wealth without hollowing yourself out. I mean, there's proof. Look at Warren Buffett. You can win without becoming someone you don't respect. And that's my biggest concern with a lot of young men today is they're buying into this culture of how they think they need to be to win, and they might win, but they are going to hate who they become because it's not sustainable. The profit and the principle don't have to be enemies. You can choose to embody your values instead of advertising them. You know, for those of you who saw my video on Dutch Bros yesterday, I talked about that. There's a way to do right by society and follow through with your corporate social responsibility without having to do it externally. You can do it internally. It doesn't have to be a part of your marketing scheme. Rather than trying to talk about empathy and post about empathy, let's just design systems that don't require people to be perfect to survive. How about that? How about not rejecting capitalism, but not worshiping it either? We need to recognize that capitalism is a tool. And like any tool, it reflects the intentions of the people using it. And here's the part no one tells you. Most of the people who quietly think this way, like me, and hopefully if you're watching this like you, is how alone we feel. When you're educated, rational, when you're capable of holding two ideas in your head at the same time, weighing them, you don't need everything to be a culture war. You don't need to dominate the room. You don't need to perform masculinity or virtue to feel legitimate. You just want to build something real and live well. Take care of other people that you care about, and maybe even some that you don't know. Be outwardly philanthropic. Maybe you want to leave things better than you found them. I know I do. And I want to do it without lying to myself about how the world actually works. Because it is an incentive-based system. We can't sit there and keep on denying that that's the case. The answer is not tear down an incentive-based system. The answer is not pretending it doesn't exist. We just have to change what is more of an incentive. If we just can figure out ways to make doing the right thing more of an incentive than doing the wrong thing, you remain with the same system, but you make it work in ways that are ethically and morally wholesome. And if you're somebody that thinks like I do, then I want you here watching my show. I didn't start a podcast because I want a massive following and I want to be famous. I don't want millions of people on this channel. I want the right people. I want the right following. I want other people out there who think and feel like I do to come and communicate, comment with me, interact with me, talk with me, because we're being shut down. We're being suffocated out. And it feels like, I know I'm not the only one. I know you're out there. I know there's people that are feeling the way that I'm feeling, that are losing their minds right now because it just seems like you can't ever really get to the place of solving actual problems because of the noise. I want people who come to this channel to be thinkers. You could disagree with me. I don't care. I'm not going to lose my mind. Maybe I'll disagree with you and you don't care. You're not going to lose your mind. People who understand systems, incentives, trade-offs. People who still believe that ethics matter. But people who don't need to scream to feel powerful. So if you're one of those people, please subscribe to my channel, please. Not because of any other reason. I make plenty of money. I own a very successful business. I don't do this to get paid. I'm dying for community. I'm dying to meet other people that have the same interests as me, that have the same thought process as me. I'm dying to meet like-minded people. And I won't promise you easy answers, but I will promise honest ones. I will promise that I will speak honestly. And all I ask is that if you engage with me, that you speak honestly too, because we're not going to get anywhere by bullshitting each other. Because sooner or later, people like us are going to have to find each other. And it's going to be harder and harder and harder. So please subscribe to this channel if you're on board. My name is Tommy Kane, and the name of the show is The Executive's Playbook. I hope to meet you all. Thanks.